To be honest, until now I have shared every video I've made with you with a clear conscience. I think this is the first time I'm feeling this nervous while making a video, because this is a type of video that no one has done before. No, of course, I'm not talking about cheating in games and showing the results. Those are cheats bought for 5TL and then washed away the next day. This is different. If it delivers what it promises, it will completely change your perception of the game. That's why this is very important. I must explain, nowadays everyone becomes addicted to a game, and I generally like online FPS games. Now, imagine a game you trust very much, and what if I told you it doesn't defend against cheats? Okay, what if someone comes out and says, no way, you can even cheat in this game and face no consequences? What do you think? The answer is not far away, but let me tell you, you lose faith in that game, and a doubt creeps in every match. There is a system that claims to provide this. The name of that system is DMH. DMH is a system made by the Chinese, and thanks to this system, they claim to allow people to play the games they want and also claim that it doesn't disrupt the bathroom. Let me explain the logic of DMH to you right away. Now imagine two computers, okay? One is your main computer so you can play games, etc. You play. The other computer is any laptop you have beside you. These guys send 3 to 4 pieces of equipment, and after setting up and installing their system, you end up with 2 USBs. You connect one to the main computer and the second to the other computer. You load and install the cheat from the second computer and start it. Thanks to these USBs, the cheat you run from the second computer reflects onto the first computer. Thus, no cheat files, etc. are on your main computer. You install the cheat using only the USB without loading anything. While you are playing, the guard system scanning your background can't find any cheats, so naturally they can't ban you. Now, you might say something like this. Can't the USB be seen as a cheat by the games? The DM handles that part itself. I mean, it appears like a mouse or like an internet network. So, the USB doesn't appear as a cheat. This is the logic and promise of the setup. When I heard what it promised, I decided I urgently needed to find and try it. At first, to be honest, I was thinking it would be around 35 TL. However, since it's from the international market, its price in Turkey ranges between 30,000 TL and 50,000 TL. And the likelihood of these being scams is quite high for a month. Because in such places, people are extremely uninformed. But thanks to some of my connections, I found someone who had a DM, and I rented the DM for 3 days for a certain amount. I asked him how he got it. Actually, the price of these devices abroad is between $300 and $500. Now you might say, where's 50,000 and where's $300? But due to some regulations, such an order gets stuck at customs, and getting it from customs costs nearly $1,000. Because it is over $30, it needs to be declared to the government along with a customs broker. This naturally extends the delivery time and makes the process quite costly. Oh, and of course, to use the product, you also need to purchase software worth $500. I'm not talking about places where games are sold separately. At the very least, a cheat for a game I want costs around $50. And this is a weekly fee. All of these are sold separately. So this system is a very expensive one. It's not like a regular cheat. When you consider it, it's not something an average Turkish citizen can afford. That's why I'm showing you the other side of the games you play by testing them live. Now let me show you how DMA works. The part you see here is called the fuser. The task of this fuser is to provide wall ec. When you press the buttons on it, it transfers the second computer screen to the main computer screen. This part you see here is called the kinbox. The function of this part is to provide aimbot support. These two parts are useless on their own. The key component, the DMA card, needs to be installed in the case. There is only one way to know if someone is using DMA. It's essential to see the other party's case. If there is something blinking inside like this, that person is using DMA. No program can stop this blinking here. First, we tried to run it with Faceit. However, the cheat did not work. After some research, we learned that a software file related to Faceit is needed inside the DMA. And this software file was mentioned before. It was a $500 software. Is there no software file in the DMA we have? Of course there is. However, the Faceit software is not in that software file. But there are software systems that protect games like Valorant, Rainbow, and PUBG. Luckily, we couldn't open everything with Faceit. Did this situation upset me? It did. Because CS's own system doesn't have a reliable defense. Even a 10TL cheat is barely banned. The best place to test the DMA would be Faceit, but to be honest, it's very expensive software. I rented it. When I talked to the guy, he said that the other DM software was Faceit software. And he also mentioned that cheats could be activated on Faceit. Would I hold back? I said, give me the Faceit software. When I asked him to give me that software, he said he couldn't. Because the guys who make cheats for this software create different software for each DM. So even if he gave me that software and I got banned, his computer would automatically get banned too. He didn't want to risk that. So I didn't push too hard either. Of course, since I couldn't try it, Faceit will remain a question mark. But there are those who say that cheating can be done to a considerable extent. Then we said we spent so much money on cheats. I went in, played 1-2 rounds in a normal match, and then left the match. I preferred to test the cheat on platforms that would respond in a short time. Even if CH-Ban were to ban me, it would only happen in 1 to 2 months. Therefore, I wouldn't have reliable data in my hands. Then we moved on to Valorant. In Valorant, I first wanted to buy a cheat sold online for $5–10 and test it on a different computer. This way, I thought I could compare it more easily with DM. I got the cheat and integrated it into the game. Then I started testing it full throttle in a warm-up type of trial. In the first match, everything went smoothly. Even though I got reported, I wasn't banned. Then we moved on to the second match, and I got banned right at the beginning of the match. Ban! AA ban! Dude! Hahaha. Did I get banned? Did it show as a ban for you? From this, I concluded the following. The cheats sold on the normal market aren't really that effective. Getting banned so quickly is actually a very good thing. At least it's not that easy to activate a normal cheat. The method I thought of for my DME cheat was as follows. I would go full throttle for 3 matches, inform people of the situation in the bottom left, get them to report and get banned. Didn't that work either? Then I would write to Riot support and get banned in any way possible. But the owner of DME said open your cheat, record your video, but when sharing on YouTube, don't show the account where you activated the cheat. He said you can get yourself reported as much as you want during the match. He explained the reason for this as follows. You don't get banned when there's a report in the game. But if you show your account's nickname, etc. on YouTube, of course Riot will ban the account first after watching the video. Your account. Thus the $250 software inside DM will be wasted. And I will have to cover the cost of this burned software. I was willing to risk the motherboard of the computer getting banned for the video. But I couldn't risk $250 for 3 matches. Unfortunately. No lies. At this point I thought about stopping the video. Because up until now, whatever I did that I didn't like, I ended up getting myself reported. And I showed it to you without any censorship. But here, I would have to censor the account. And I am not at all pleased with this. I reluctantly continued because I didn't want all this effort to go to waste. Now, there's a problem with this. For instance, since I'm currently recording in-game, nothing is visible to you. Even if it were visible, you would see it blurred. For instance, right now, look at the point where I placed the cross. I'm waiting for 2 people. Those 2 people are right there. How am I going to show this? I wish I hadn't made the recordings I could take. Move aside so your teacher can show you. Quite easy. It burns. Oh. Very good. A magnificent goal. At the start of every round in 3 matches, I told them to report me to the opponent. Even though I made it obvious like an animal sometimes, it didn't work. Maybe 100, 150 reports. When I recorded in-game, since it recorded as a normal game and the cheats weren't visible, I had to take all the recordings with my phone. Finally, I wanted to squeeze in PUBG as well. Since it piqued my curiosity, I asked our guy about the ban issue in PUBG. He sent me a photo. He went overboard using the DM. He maxed out everything and finally got banned. But then he got the PUBG ban lifted with just a single email. Look at the absurdity of the situation. Because when PUBG officials examined his computer, they couldn't find any anti-cheat software. When I saw this, I realized I didn't even need to try. Even if I get banned, what good would it do? Those with money always call the shots. So, PUBG's system couldn't catch the DM either. Let's take a look at it collectively. Since I couldn't try it on Faceit, I'm leaving it as a question mark. But there are people who say cheating is possible. Do I even need to mention CS? There's a cheat at every turn anyway. Unfortunately, Valorant couldn't beat the DM. I haven't tried PUBG, but based on this photo, I'm assuming it couldn't beat it either. Does it deliver what it promises? Partially yes, partially no. I didn't have the chance to try it for a long time. I mean, the setup of the system already took a very long time. 2 out of the 3 days went to this. I had only 1 day left to try the games. So you watch the summary of that 1 day work. I think a long-term trial would definitely have some flaws. The system is designed in a very honorable way. It's really hard for a game to beat someone who owns this system. Just seeing these results, I can't play any kind of more global server-based game. This system, which costs 70–80,000 for us, is like a water bill for them. My aim is not to make you suspicious of every match like me, but to make you consider that such pitches could occur in every match. Actually, even if you consider it, there's not much you can do, but I wanted you to know. I mean, I am aware of all the backlash that might come. I'm sure I would have made this content on channels like mine a year or 2 from now. I just threw the first stone. Of course, the fact that such a video has never been made in the world also tempted me to do it. Anyway, normally, of course, the rental situation doesn't apply to all matters. It's already a rare device, it would be nonsense. But as a result of my persistent insistence and constantly involving someone, I was able to produce such a video. I don't think this DMH system can become widespread. Of course, people who don't care about money can overshadow the hard work of the less fortunate who enter the game just to enjoy a little. But I don't think this system will become very widespread, at least at this stage. Since the system is something new, even solving the smallest problem either wastes a lot of time or leads to a lot of scams. Finally, believe me, it's not worth cheating. Go and learn your game properly and play it. Don't ruin other people's games either. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.